I'm back with another video using my kit for June. I'm going to do a traveler's notebook spread today, and I've gone through my kit and pulled out an amount of, I've kept to a color scheme. I also have this sketch, which I created. It's for a traveler's notebook. I've been doing those usually once a week, and I have been absolutely loving it. I love how it looks, and if you're interested in those sketches, you can find them on my Instagram account. You can also find them on my Facebook, and you are more than welcome to go ahead and save the photo to your electronic device and use them. So I'm going to be using the sketch I created today to do this layout, and I'm also going to be using the My Stash kit. I have gone through my kit, as I started to say before I was showing you the sketch, and then I wanted to talk about the sketch. I went through and I pulled my idea for this layout is that it's going to be primarily pink and blues, not aqua but blues. And so I'm starting by covering this grid paper that's in my notebook with some of the Close to My Heart Regatta paper. So this paper is that diagonal stripe that I have oodles and oodles of, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some of the branding strips that are on this pattern too. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim these pages, trim these paper, blah blah blah, trim this paper down and use it as the base for my layout. So I'm using the 6x6 paper pad. This is from the Ellie's Studio, and I just cut it in half so that I had two 3x6 strips, and I'm going to spread them across both of my traveler's notebook spreads and trim them up, and I'm going to keep going on with my layout. This layout is very easy to follow. The sketch is very easy to follow. It would be a really great use if you're a beginner using traveler's notebooks, or if you don't quite know how to orient a traveler's notebook so that you can do photos and also pictures and also journaling. And actually, I'm going to have two traveler's notebooks layouts. This one, and then I just finished one last night that also includes lots of pictures and journaling. So you can look forward to that. So I'm going to go ahead and add these branding strips as a border. And branding strips make fabulous borders, guys, especially in traveler's notebooks, because the smaller size allows you to use them as a really nice border, and they can span the width of your page and they can span the length of your page, and yeah, it works out really well. I really like to use them in my traveler's notebook. Great way to get use out of them. So I'm just going to censor both of my photos, and the story I'm going to tell with regard to these photos is about a weekend in March when my husband took my boys and they went on a trip to New York, which, you know, limited the amount of people I had to care for in my house. So to tell my story, I'm going to go ahead and take this journaling card, which was one of the elements of my stash kit. In fact, every element here is my stash kit. And I'm going to tuck the top of the journaling card into the top of my photo, and then the bottom of the journaling card into the bottom of the photo. And I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell about how my oldest son's dog refused to sleep, and he just kept walking around the house whining because my oldest son wasn't there. And so I ended up grabbing my son's comforter off of his bed and kind of like laying it with the dog, and that worked. And then he slept on my floor in my bedroom with my son's quilt. It worked. And then I also went to the store and treated myself to some yummy big scallops. And they were delicious, but they were quite pricey and not something that I would buy for 7 of us on a regular basis. But for that weekend, it was like my little treat. So I'm reaching over into my stash kit because I want to do some stamping, and I want to use these stamps from LA Studio. These are the original title builder stamps. I bought them. I was positive I was going to use them like 100 times, and I think I've used 1 or 2 of them here and there. And that was when I first got them, and I haven't touched them since. And so I want to get some use out of them. They actually have a second set now, and I opted to not purchase the second set simply because I hadn't used the first set. And, they're not, it's stamps, so most stamps are a little bit pricier than, it's not something you want to buy and then not use, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get some good use out of this first set and not worry about the fact that I didn't buy the second set. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to use some Catherine Pooler Juniper Mist. Catherine Pooler ink, if Catherine Pooler made mini ink cubes, they would be my favorite ink. But they don't. And I don't have the storage for huge ink pads, so I only have a couple colors of hers, but her inks are beautiful. They're so pretty. And this is Juniper Mist, which is a navy blue, and it's my favorite navy blue. It's a really true, gorgeous navy blue. So instead it gets like second or third place in my heart for inks, not because the colors aren't gorgeous, not because the pads aren't gorgeous, but because I just can't store them. So I only have a couple of the large ink pads. If she ever comes out with mini ones though, that's it. So I'm just adding 1 of the wood veneers and adding that right there to the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of work on this page and finish it right there on my Tim Holtz stamp platform. And I'm sticking to the plush pink colors and the bright royal blues. That's my color scheme that I want to stick to for this layout. And I just wanted something small to put there at the bottom, and I wasn't quite sure if I wanted that heart, but I think that was what I ended up doing. So I'm going to do a little more stamping on the bottom of this second page. And you see how gorgeous that blue is. Oh, it's so pretty. I stamped twice just to get it nice and dark and crisp. And then I'm going to wipe it off with a baby wipe because that's what I do. You'll see that I have black smudges on my stamp platform. That is Altenew permanent black ink, and I have to pull out my Stays-On cleaner to get it off, and I'm lazy and I haven't done that yet because the hand sanitizer trick didn't work. I think it would have, but I didn't wipe it up soon enough because I was stamping like multiple things. So yeah, it's okay. An inky stamp platform is the mark of a true stamper. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm just gonna see. I keep every time I clean the stamp platform, I feel like I need to try to clean off that black ink, but no, it's not coming off. I gotta get the heavy duty like Stays-On cleaner, which I have somewhere in my stash. So for the top of this, in the sketch, I put at the top of this, I think it was like something that would look like washi tape maybe, yeah. But for my layout, I decided to go with just this yum. And right now, I'm just looking for some embellishment. I want to add just a little bit of embellishment to that second page. Nothing big, nothing bulky, nothing, just a little bit. And I really, really love this tag, but it's really big. So, and then I have to deal with what am I going to do for that tag hole, because in a traveler's notebook, sometimes the twines and stuff and the tag holes get to be really bulky. And this is a notebook from Rock Your Notebook, which means it's stitched, so I can make it as chunky as I want, but I'm trying here, okay? So I cut the tag hole off and just kind of made it a square that can kind of poke out of the top of my photo. and then I'm going to add staples. And I think that that's pretty much it for this layout. I kept it, really simple. I really followed the sketch I had created, and I really like how this turned out. I think it turned out just very, very nice. So thank you so much for joining me today. And here are some close-ups. I will see you all again soon. Have a fabulous, fabulous Thursday.